You're listening to Fun Oldies 100.9 FM and AM 1450. Welcome to the fastest hour in radio, All Bout Cars. Brought to you by ABC Motors Prescott with your host David Don't Call Me Dave Spence and Big Mike Hill.
So, Mr. Mike, who's singing the song?
I don't know. It wasn't me.
Hey, isn't that Dinah Shore?
You are absolutely correct, sir.
Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
You've won absolutely nothing.
No, he gets a free haircut today.
Free
Compliments
haircut.
of Erin from the Hair Lair, because she says we're absolutely hilarious on our show.
Yeah, well, now I got to sit really still because I have a feeling the scissors are sharp.
Oh, man.
Very sharp.
So, Mr. Mike.
Yes, Mr. David.
How do you insure an old car? We're talking collector car. Not just an old beater.
Well, now, when I insure a collector car, I do it the very simple way. I make a phone call and say, hey, I need coverage. But I know you and I have talked about this recently. You have a whole bunch of insight, and I told you I want to hear about it because I need to know.
All right. So being just slightly serious, what you really want to do is get agreed value policy. Now, when you go buy a regular policy, you don't have anything like that.
Did you say agreed or agreed?
Agreed.
Okay.
Value policy.
So not agreed
Do you know what that is?
Yes, it's where you agree on an amount for your car's value.
Yeah. And so let's say you want to say your car's worth $20,000. Now, the insurance company is going to want to obviously know what the car is. They like to have photos of it. And depending on the value, it's going to be, they might want additional information. But the reality is all they want to do is have proof that the car is worth X. And you then agree on that value. And so you're going to buy a policy for that. Do you know what a policy like this will pay for or how it pays if something happens?
In cash?
Yeah, not quite. But you think about, seriously, think about what
100,000 of them.
Oh, too bad. Think about what happened with your Magnum. What happened with your Magnum when it got totaled?
Well, the Magnum actually, when the Magnum got totaled, they called me, told me what the value was. They paid it out and took the car. They paid off what I owed on it, and basically we got nothing out of it. We were left with no car, no nothing.
Okay. So if you had the agreed value policy, and let's just say, we'll just say your car's at $20,000. Your collector car is insured for that, and you happen to be driving in 1.5 miles from your house, sort of happened to me, and you end up in a car accident. Now, on an agreed value policy, if the car is written off as totaled, which would be because you would figure out, you the owner, that, oh my God, I can't fix it for the amount it's insured for.
She wants you to scoot that way.
Well, we'll move.
Scoot just a bit.
All right, so we move over. Hey, when you're getting your hair cut on the radio, you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, Erin, you got to turn that microphone so we can hear the scissors as you're cutting too.
Yeah.
We'll make it really interesting.
I'm serious. Turn
You
it.
don't want to hear the scissors they cut. That's a bad pair of scissors.
Yeah, if you hear that, oh no.
Well, I meant just a click of the handle.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll hear it. We'll just see what happens. But anyway, back to what happens with the agreed value policy. Let's say that it is effectively totaled. You're the owner. You're going to have figured out, oh, I can't fix it for the amount that's on there. They'll send somebody out, look at your vehicle, and within 3-4 days, you're going to literally have a check in your hand. It's not going to be a bunch of squabbling like you do with a regular insurance company. But some of the other cool things the agreed value does, let's say you want to keep the totaled car. You can still get paid, and you still get to keep the car. So do you get to do that normal insurance? Usually you don't. Or on top of that, you want to get it repaired, right? So you got money less than your total insurance and you want to actually get it repaired, you can take it any place you want to repair it. Or guess what? You can take the money and repair it yourself. So that's really different from your normal insurance. So there's some reasons you want the agreed value policy compared to a regular insurance. Now you also have a couple of downsides. You really can't drive it as your daily driver. They don't like that. But you can get policies now that don't limit the mileage. So you can take it to all kinds of shows, all kinds of fun runs, cruise nights. Those are all legitimate. Hey, if you go down to the Dairy Queen on the weekend, it's okay. It's just that you wouldn't want to be driving it back and forth down to ABC Motors where you're working there, right, Mike?
Well, I drive my 67 Polara pretty much daily.
Okay, but you're not on agreed value, are you?
No.
Okay.
Well, yes, you and I have agreed on what the value is.
Yeah, but the insurance company doesn't have you on that type of policy.
Okay.
So really, if you want to insure a collector car, you would strongly be recommended to do this. And I've had experience twice now where I've happened to get paid because of things that have happened. One time there was a hit and run, and it's like, damn, it's nice to know that you're not going to fight the insurance
I
company.
have to ask you a question about that.
Yes.
Why did you leave the scene?
It's kind of funny how that happened. Actually, the truth is I was hit by a red car. There was red paint on the bumper. And they knocked it down a hill. This is over in Prescott Lakes. And I never told you that story, did I?
No.
Oh, well, you need the story.
You know what's weird is
tell.
I'm just thinking of the time when Erin brought my red car back and it had green paint on the fender.
Well, now you know.
Just really
No way here.
odd.
Odd? Well, seriously. So I'm over at my parents', and we're in there, my wife and I and my parents, and we're just visiting. And all of a sudden, we hear this really weird, loud crash noise. We hadn't heard anything before that. So we got out of the house, and there is my brand new restored 39 gram, which Scott saw here before, and it had run into a house.
What?
For a fact. Because it was parked in a cul-de-sac at the top of a little hill, and it had been bumped into by somebody in their vehicle. There was red paint over the bumper, and they hit it hard enough to knock it down the hill, and it rolled into a house.
Scott
Into
looks like he's
somebody
gonna.
else's house?
Scott looks like he's gonna cry.
I am.
Look at the look on his face.
So what was the
awful.
damage?
It's
what was
true.
the damage on that? Did it go through into the house or just kind of bounce off the outside? I mean, because
No,
this car, I can imagine going through the whole thing.
It hit the whole front door area, and so we go over across the street. And you know what's so weird about this is my car has hit their house, and the people who own the house are saying, "Oh, we feel so bad. That's so sad." And we can't believe what happened to your car. My car has hit their house. And they're worried about the car. It was kind of cool.
Now this was Prescott Lakes area.
Yes.
It's not like some other areas in this town where they could have just parked their house there.
No. This is Prescott Lakes with a house that's maybe a year and a half old. I mean,
I got you.
really nice.
Wow.
And it hit the front door. That's what it did. And if there hadn't been big pillars right there at the front door, it would have gone through the house, literally.
And you had the agreed assurance.
Yes, I did. And so what ended up happening is I just finished the car at that time. So this is
God.
this is back in about 2000. And I just finished the car completely. And we were supposed to go to a convention for the first time with the car about 6 weeks from then. Yes, I actually hired the fixing. I just about couldn't look at the car. Yeah, Trish took pictures of me when I saw the car. I looked crushed. Sorry, I just did. It was like somebody died.
I'm beginning to think that particular car does not like going to conventions.
Yeah, it's a little, maybe convention shy.
Because there are conventions. It's performance anxiety for the car.
Yeah.
You're right, it is.
Well, what's interesting is every time you've taken off for a convention, there's something weird. It may be minor. It may be. I mean, last time. Oh, Mike, the car's stuck in overdrive.
Yep, that's what happened last time.
Oh, Mike, let me borrow your truck. Wait, the flywheel in your truck snapped.
Well,
there's
actually it did in your
I know.
truck.
There's
You
something
give me a
about
half-assed truck. What do you expect?
It was a whole ass. It just, but it, it's just one of those things where that vehicle seems to become shy when it thinks it's going to convention. I think it's like taking the dog to the vet, David. You need to tell it, we're just going for a nice little drive, and don't tell it where you're going.
Well, it could be that.
Clean it when you get there.
That could be a thing to do. Yeah, it's interesting all of the things that happen, but half the fun of having the old car or the antique car is the fact that you have all these weird adventures.
Absolutely.
And it's actually fun.
Speaking of weird adventures, are you excited about the exhaust?
Well, yeah, I am. That's a big deal. You're going to tell these people what's being done?
No.
And Scott doesn't even know that this is the car with the sexy body. He saw the car that was boring. So he hasn't seen the sexy one yet.
We're going to get that exhaust done. We're going to record the sound before you take it over there and play it back before and after. And we'll talk about it probably next Saturday. And we'll talk about it and see how it performs.
That'll be a hell of a night and day comparison.
It will be.
Right now it sounds like a damn truck.
I have something interesting to talk to you about besides what we've been talking about.
What?
Your greatest aspiration has come true.
Uh-oh.
Dodge has dropped the minivan.
Really?
Yes, there is no more, starting 2016, no more Dodge Grand Caravan. There will only be the Chrysler Town and Country.
Wow. Well, as I've been telling you over and over, minivans are passé. Sorry, I know there's a few of you out there like minivans. They are so passé.
I passéed one on the way here.
You probably did.
Most of the minivan lovers are moms.
Yeah, but they don't buy them anymore.
No,
They buy
they get the
SUVs.
SUVs.
Yeah, they buy H3s.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, no.
I'm not buying an H3. I want
Now
one
he's
that can
talking
get me
about
out
it.
of the mud.
Yeah.
See, Erin understands the practicality of vehicles. When you step on the gas, it needs to go fast. And if it won't get out of the mud, it won't go to. Yeah, Dodge has redone their whole line. As you know, they're working with Fiat.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Dodge has decided they're going to now be a performance line. Chrysler will be a luxury line. So there'll be like no more Dodge Avenger. There'll only be the Chrysler 200.
Mm-hmm.
No more Dodge Grand Caravan. Only the Chrysler Town and Country. The Viper is no longer an SRT brand. It is now the Dodge Viper again. Every one of them.
So what they're going to do is going to do what they should be doing. This should be a lesson to a few other companies, and sorry that some of them don't figure it out. You've got to brand your products. So a brand must represent something.
Correct. You can't be 100% to 100% of the people. You have to choose a target. You have to hit the target. Unless, of course, you're Erin from the Hair Lair, then you pretty much just take care of everybody and do whatever's needed. Because, David, your hair looks great, by the way. Erin does men's, women's, children, adolescents,
Batman and
superheroes, old people, handicapped people. You do some special needs people that are in.
And we do. We can easily accommodate handicap accessible. So if you have any problems with that or have somebody, we got it. You set.
I want to hear more about that when we come back. All About Cars, 100.9 FM, 1450 AM.
One more thing, I got the pink slip daddy, and coming off the line.